Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Viola, I'm a photographer based in Austria, and today I'm gonna give you my top 3 tips to get better at retouching today, right now, right after watching this video. These are 3 super simple tips and you can implement them literally like at any second of your retouching career, workflow, whatever. So let me stop rambling and let's get right into it. So this is the photo that we're gonna be working with today. And this is the final photo and this is the before. The before is only like color graded and stuff, and the after obviously is like the final retouched photo. I did a super natural retouch here. And yeah, we're just gonna go through some of my tips to, as I said, better your retouching right now. So the first tip that I have, obviously we're gonna be working on the before photo here, is to choose an interesting crop. You might have seen this in movies. This obviously is a little bit of a further away image, but a good crop for a image like this one would be to not cut off any limbs or like hair or anything at like a weird angle where it looks like, or like a weird part where it looks like there's something missing, but to just slightly crop in certain features. Like as you can see in the hair up top here, I just cropped like a teeny tiny bit of the hair off, and that makes the hair, or like the image, that makes the image look more interesting than if I would have had like that centimeter more of hair up there in the image. Same with down here on the shoulder. I could have like zoomed out, I guess, a little bit and had like the full shoulder in, but just cropping in a teeny tiny bit here just makes the image look a bit more interesting. And as I've said, you probably have seen this in movies. Typically they cut off a little bit of the forehead and or a little bit of the chin, just so that like the image looks a bit more interesting and you can't see absolutely everything. Watch it, like keep this in mind when watching movies or shows or anything. You're gonna notice this in like almost every single shot. And so that's my first tip. Choose an interesting crop to make your photos look more interesting, and that's like the easiest thing ever you can do to make your images look more interesting and more thought out, and like you put more effort in it than you might actually have done. On to the second tip, which is actually like into retouching now, is to darken the lash line and the eyeshadow a bit. So let's look at the before and after here. Let's focus on this eye. So this is the before, as I've said, and obviously there's like dark brown eyeshadow, so it brings out the eye a bit, but if you darken it, as you can see, the eye comes out so much more, and I'm just going to quickly show you how to achieve this. So what we're going to be working with is this Starch and Burn action. I'm going to link this in the description box below. You can download it there and just select it, press play, and then we're going to be working with a normal brush with 30% opacity and 30% flow. And we're going to choose the black color here because we want to darken the image. So obviously black and white would brighten the image. And then you can just make your brush as big or small as you need, and then just darken the lash line. So like this line right here, darken it, and then also darken the eyeshadow. This is like more of a liner than an eyeshadow, but if there was like eyeshadow up here, you can also darken that a little bit, and that's gonna make the eye pop so much more. And what you can do like additionally is to switch to the white color and brighten up the like the lower part of the eye a bit, and that makes the eye so like pop so much more, and that was like 3 seconds of work. So that's my second tip: darken eyeshadow and brighten up the lower part of the eye, and that's gonna make a huge difference. And let me just delete this for the next tip that I have. The third tip is to never ever smooth out skin texture. So as you can see here, obviously, because the model is a human being, she has pores and maybe like pimples or like little like hairs and stuff, but never ever smooth this out. And I'm just gonna show you right here, because I actually do have an action to smooth things out, but I never ever use it. I only got it like to demonstrate this right here. So this action would work with just like a normal brush, and we're just gonna smooth out the whole face for demonstration purposes. So this is not like a perfectly smooth out skin. Obviously you could like go more extreme or like make it more perfect, but just to show you. So this is what the final image looks like with smoothed out skin. Let's go over here too. Obviously it doesn't look bad, but there's just something off. Like the lower parts of the photo, the darker parts aren't really like dark anymore, and the lighter parts, the highlights and stuff, they just don't pop anymore. So this is with the softening action, and this is without. And obviously without the action you can see like more pimples or like pores and stuff, but that's like normal. And in beauty photography, one of my favorite things actually is that it's like somewhat natural, and then you can actually see skin texture. So instead of smoothing the skin, like, please step away from this. There's like the Photoshop filters that I don't even want to mention because they like make your image look so bad. But instead of smoothing the skin, I would just like, let's delete this, let's just forget about this. I would just zoom in and work with the copy stamp over here and just work on any like pores or pimples you have, just like this, and you can remove them and create kind of a more even image. Let me show you the before again. So this is all that I did here. I did not smooth the skin out at all. I just removed all of the like little pimples and pores that were kind of distracting to the eye, and I didn't even like remove all of the pores here in the middle, because as I've said before, we want like a natural and textured image. And so to make your image look more realistic and just more interesting, keep the texture, please do not smooth it out. You can even go as far as using a sharpening action. I have separate videos about that, how that works and how that like affects the skin. But those are my top 3 tips to make eyeshadow darker, to make eyes pop, crop the image kind of interestingly and not just like blandly put the face in there, and never ever smooth out the skin. Sharpen it, work on it with the copy stamp, but never ever sharpen it. I really hope you enjoyed this video. As I've mentioned, I have a lot of tutorials on like more in depth on little parts of the face, general retouching, skin retouching, everything. So make sure to subscribe to my channel to see more of that. If you have any specific questions on any tools or functions or anything, please let me know in the comments down below and I'll be happy to make a video about it. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.